Hi. This is a summary of what I've learned from my video series called The Mohammedan Who Will Not Die, or another one was called The Mohammedan Who Comes Back for More, or The Muslim Who Comes Back for More. What I learned is that nowhere in the Bible does God tell somebody to lie. The closest that comes to it is where the lying spirit asks God permission to go into the mouths of the false prophets, and God says, okay, go ahead. But nowhere does God say, hey, you lie, you'll be rewarded, you know. And that Muslim I was talking to, the one who would not die, the Mohammedan will not die, really tried to say, look, because they are rewarded for their deceit, like Rahab lying about the spies hiding, that gives me, a Muslim, allowance to lie, or makes it so I can't trust you, Christian, because you could be lying and thinking you're going to be rewarded. But the thing is, that does not, again, I don't see it where it tells me to lie. Because, I mean, if I lied, how do I know I'd be rewarded by God? You know? If I deceived, how would I know I'd be rewarded by God? You know, it could be God's will to destroy me, to make me look stupid, you know? For one thing, it goes against thou shalt not bear false witness, or, you know, thou shalt not lie. Yeah, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. And again, this is how desperate he was to make it look like you can lie as a Muslim, and, you know, he was trying to say that thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. It doesn't mean you can lie. It doesn't mean you can't lie. He said that there's a big difference between lying and not bearing false witness against thy neighbor. And I said, well, what happens if your neighbor reads what you're writing to me? If it's a lie, aren't you lying to him? You know, never answered me. And of course, he fell silent a lot of times like that. Another thing I learned in my video series with him is that I could never get him to tell me how come Quran 4:24 doesn't remove, or at least ease, the gripe of African Americans for the time America had slavery, when in Quran 4:24 you can have sex with your married slave girl. He kept on saying, no, it's not sex, it's marriage, but the thing is, it says marriage. I said, what does married, you know, mean to you? He never could answer me. So that was a big part of the thing. And I also wanted to keep on performing taqiyya, saying that I lied about studying Islam for like 20 years and didn't know what bid'ah was. It was like, well, you know, I don't understand what that's talking about, because, you know, I'd never really heard about it.